Namaskaram everyone. So this video is about a question that I got yesterday from someone who has watched my video with Vaisak. So he says, I heard you saying that your mind was always the problem, so was your body, because you were too much identified with it. I really don't know, but I'm not being able to obliterate these things from my life. A little comment somehow is impacting me. I know it's all compulsiveness, but somehow since you are experienced, can you guide me how to obliterate these things? So, he writes a little difficultly to really fully understand what he's meaning, but I suppose the simple thing that he's asking is, how can I get mastery over my body and my mind? At the same time, he says, how can I obliterate these things from my life? I heard you saying that your mind was always the problem because you were too much identified with it. I really don't know, but I'm not being able to obliterate these things from my life. So you can't obliterate your body and your mind. How is that going to work? If you take your life, maybe, well, what's the point? Then you're going to have to, you're not going to exist anymore in this way. So I know it's all compulsiveness, but somehow, since your experience, can you guide me on how to obliterate these things? So he said something about this identification with the body and the mind and how to, obviously I'm not sure what he means with how to obliterate the identification of the body and the mind. I guess that's what he's trying to say, actually. So if you want to obliterate your identification with the body and the mind, that will take a lot of sadhana. It's not going to happen from today on tomorrow. I've been doing Isha practices now for probably 2-3 years. Been doing the free stuff now for 1 year. I've been doing Isha, Shambhavi Mahamudra from the inner engineering, and every day, and now for 1 month, every other day I've been doing like all the practices. So it's been getting a lot better. I think one needs to be patient about the process of obliterating your identification with your body. You need to be able to just be patient. That's because it's not going to happen from today to tomorrow. It's a big process, and the more you get disidentified, the better life is. It's pretty correlating graph. The more you're disidentified, the better your life is in the sense of your experience of life. It's like when you fly with the airplane over the world, everything looks so nice. Well, at the same time, when you're not identified so much, you also become a little dispassionate about everything. Your desires become less gravitating. They become less unnerving also. So you find a lot of balance by being more disidentified, but it's not something you can just force. One practice that does a lot is definitely Isha Kriya. So if you really struggle with identification, meaning it's too much for you, the identification is very strong with your body and your mind, I'd recommend you doing a mandala of Isha Kriya that you got on the Sadhguru app, or you can just Google it or YouTube it. Do it twice a day, and then during the day just keep reminding yourself, I'm not the body, I'm not even the mind. You don't have to just use this mantra. You can also just remind yourself in any other way that you're beyond this body and mind. So it has to become something that you have to realize, okay, I'm not the body, I'm not the mind. That's the easy part. And then you need to bring this into your life, and this will take time, because for the longest you have been identified with your body and your mind, not just in this life, but most probably in the lives before that you had. If you don't want to believe in that, fine, I don't believe in it either, but your karma certainly is there from this life. meaning your memory is there and you've been trained to believe that you are your body and your mind, and it's also something that is somewhat natural to believe in, because if I touch this, I feel it. If I touch anything else, I don't. So random person walking by. So yeah, I think being patient is the most important thing, and doing practices that will naturally bring you to a state of distance between you and your body mind is also very good. Inner engineering is key, but if you don't have done that yet, recommend Isha Kriya, doing that really faithfully for at least 48 days twice a day or 90 days once a day. That'll do a lot. Other than that, just try to remember and keep this in your mind, that you're not the body, you're not the mind, and try to get a little distance. If you're really badly identified and you want to kickstart, I'm not necessarily recommending it, but you could try doing some medicinal mushrooms, or this can help to really distance yourself and get a little shot of distance. I'm not saying I'm recommending it, but I'm saying it worked for me, but I didn't know that I had this issue, but it helped with that, because once you have a bigger experience, that can gravitate towards the memory of, oh, this is not me, in a different way than just doing Isha Kriya all day. I'm not saying you have to, and I don't say Isha Kriya is not good enough. I'm just saying if you really are badly identified, you could try taking magic mushrooms or LSD or smoking weed or something. I wouldn't recommend you doing it more than once, but just I would recommend maybe doing it once. Don't take a small dose, try a bigger dose, and really go to the beyond once, and that will help to see things in a different way, and then continue doing Isha practices, man. Just do whatever you can, Hatha yoga or Kriya yoga. That'll cement it, because even if you do take external substances, which can do the trick for a little while, it'll not do it for the long while. It'll be there with you, the memory, and it can be really beneficial. But I mean, better than any of these external substances would be to do the Bhava Spandana program. You really get a tremendous amount of clarity and distance from your situation that you're experiencing right now in your life and who you really are, which often gets intermingled. So that would be best, or Shunya. But I think Bhava Spandana is even better for that. Although Shunya is probably a little bit more long-term, Bhava Spandana is a little bit more short-term, in the sense that if you do Bhava Spandana, you'll have a very big experience relatively quickly, and it'll also last, but it'll not necessarily grow out of nothing. I mean, it's something that Shunya, it grows out of nothing, so to speak, because with Shunya you go into the nothingness, but Bhava Spandana you need to have time to put awareness into into something, whereas with Shunya you just do the practice. It's a certain routine. So Shunya is a more masculine, straightforward way of doing something, whereas Bhava Spandana is more like feminine. You kind of need to bring a certain emotion and love into your own practice. There's no practice you get from it. It's just something that you experience, and then you can apply it whenever you want. So it takes a little bit more free time, and it helps to be in a vacation or something to do that, because you might want to watch a flower for an hour, and then you'll get this Bhava Spandana experience, which is a very beautiful. You're being fully involved, but you realize I'm not so important, and I'm also not this body-mind thing. Whereas Shunya is a more systemized approach, because you're doing the practices every day. other than that, I don't really know what else to say right now. I hope I can help you a little bit with your issue. And feel free to write in the comment section below if that's helped you or not. And if it did, please like. If it didn't, dislike. And let me know what you thought. Let me know if you could get some benefits out of this. And if you have any other question related to the identification topic, so to speak, or any other question, please write me a comment and DM me on WhatsApp or wherever, Facebook. And I would love to answer your question and help you out as much as I can.